Why is it so rare for us to find complete dinosaur skeletons? There's actually a few different reasons as to why this is. The first is scavenging. See, when an animal dies, it's almost inevitable that other animals are going to pick up on this, they're going to smell it or something like that, and they're going to show up to the carcass looking to fill their bellies. During the process, they'll probably drag something off for them to, just consume on their own time. As a result, the skeleton just kind of ends up scattered across like a 10-mile radius or something like that. I mean, it's something that does happen in nature today. If you're walking around in the wilderness and you come across a deer skeleton, chances are it's not going to be complete. On top of that, fossilization is already an incredibly rare process. See, because in order for an animal to be fossilized, it would need to be buried in sediment. So this means that if an animal died in the middle of the woods without any sand or mud to be buried in, it won't be fossilized. But if it did die near sand or mud, then it has a better chance of being fossilized. But more times than not, for them to die in sand or mud, they're probably near water, which means that water can often, also rip apart the skeleton when they die and just spread their bones all over the place. And even if they die near water, they're still subject to scavenging. And even if they do luckily become fossilized, the earth is not really kind. Its processes are not kind. There are still things like erosion. A lot of times when we find fossils, they've already been exposed, because you have to walk around and actually look for said fossils. And if they've already been exposed, there's a chance that there's many other fossils that have been exposed, but have simply been destroyed by the elements or by falling rocks or something like that. So all around, there's a lot of reasons why we wouldn't find complete skeletons, and it simply makes sense that we don't find very many close to complete skeletons. Don't get me wrong, we have found some incredibly well-preserved specimens that are very, very complete. Like maybe an animal was simply buried quick enough so that it wasn't able to get scavenged, or the elements weren't able to, rip it apart or anything like that. Those fossils do exist, but those are still rare examples for a process that is already extremely rare. And what I find really interesting is that a lot of people use this as like a proof that dinosaurs didn't actually exist and that they're making all of this up, because they always say something like, "We have never found a complete skeleton." And it's like, okay, that kind of makes sense. I'd be more suspicious if we only found complete skeletons, because not finding complete skeletons, that shows that the earth is earthen, and that the wild is wildin'. I don't know. It's just kind of interesting to me.